So yeah, guys, like we are here doing it kind of differently than what we usually do, right? So we're here somewhat live or whatever at Malvern Manor, but obviously our good pal Hauser over here has decided to hop on over and join us over here because we have a very special guest, Miss Stormy Daniels. How the hell are you? You're doing great.
I'm good.
Like, we're excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes, like I think this is gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be great. But yeah, Nick over here, and then Chad over there.
Hello.
Hi.
the rest of the
G entrance. Crew. I love it with your scarf and everything, Chad. Look at that.
Wait, whose job am I taking?
So
all of ours. Everybody's.
She's like, I'm taking
it. You're officially part of the G crew now. You are official.
I'm down.
Yeah. We gotta get her a mug though. We gotta get her one of these cool mugs.
Hey, speaking of that mug, really quick, I figured out the mystery. Who made that mug?
So I also figured out the mystery as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you first, Josh.
Okay, no. So I was watching this really cool interview that you gave the other, what was it, a week ago?
That's right. Yeah, it was crazy.
So I'm watching this. I'm watching your suave ass like give this really amazing episode or this interview, and our friend Tori said that she was the one that did this for us.
Right. I know. It took me off guard. I mean, it's amazing.
Super
so thank
cool.
you, Tori. Awesome work. Obviously, we're going to talk about it to the end of times.
Absolutely.
But it's awesome to have you here, part of the G crew. And Johnny just did something crazy that I wasn't seeing coming. Johnny, what is this? A nostril cam?
What? He's going Blair Witch on us.
What's happening here?
Oh, you gotta mute your
that's
phone,
the angle
Johnny.
that I usually get shot at, actually.
Johnny, mute your phone, but I like that angle. That's good. Keep that angle in there. Because we get an echo.
Oh my god.
Leave it to Johnny for like the amazing angles. It's
so
always
hot.
the camera angles. I love it, Johnny.
Show off.
No shit.
I know, what is he doing?
Wow.
Look at him. I love it.
All right, so let's talk about, it was interesting. So we were talking a little bit before we got onto the G Crew. You were talking about my shirt, right? I want to hear your experience because you were saying that you had this paranormal experience with this, you're referring to it as an orb, this ball of energy following you around. And it kind of looked like this, you said?
Yeah, so I don't know. I have this weird echo.
I do too.
It's Johnny's phone. Johnny, you're killing the mood here.
Oh, it is.
Johnny. It's always one of us.
But Johnny can't hear us.
It's usually Mitch. Where's Mitch? Where did Mitch
is over
go?
here.
Hey, I'm just glad it's not me.
Mitch is over here. Mitch is on sabbatical for tonight.
Johnny, you gotta mute your phone, buddy.
It's headphones.
Like, he can't hear us.
What is happening? Yeah, there's some weird echo.
Actually, if you turn my headphones all the way up, I can just sit them here and we can both hear them.
Oh, that's a good idea. Here,
there we go.
See, I'm not as blonde as I look.
Can you hear it though? You're good?
Yeah, now we're good. Yeah, so please share. I'm sorry for, usually it's Mitch that's messing this shit up, but
yeah, Mitch. She hasn't met Mitch yet, but he's
don't meet Mitch. He's a shady fuck. Yeah. All right, so go on. Yeah, let's talk about your experience with this.
Okay, so I don't know if orb is the right term, but when I saw your shirt a minute ago, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks really familiar. There's been I guess 4 instances now that there's this glowing ball of energy that instead of being a circle, which is what you normally think of as orbs, whether they're misidentified or not, they're a sphere.
Sure.
But this has a very distinct geometric pattern with lines, and I just showed him. He can vouch for me. We have pictures of it.
It's true.
We've seen it 4 times. Twice we've caught it on film. We didn't see it with our naked eye, but we got it on film. And twice we've seen it with our naked eye and didn't have a camera handy.
That's freaking sweet.
And then, I guess like 3 or 4 days ago, I work with a tarot card reader, medium, whatever. She's amazing. Her name is Carly. And she was doing a channeling for me, and she just writes whatever. And sometimes I know right away what it means. Sometimes it takes me a couple days to figure it out, but she's always right. Wow. So one of the things I didn't understand in her channel, and she just writes it and sends it to me, was geometric patterns, a triangle with 3 glowing orbs on the ends, and the number 3. Did she not say that?
Yep.
I just showed him the screenshot from 3 days ago.
Wow.
So when I saw your shirt, saw his shirt, I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah, it's very symbolic. So triangles, anything with 3 points, the number 3. I actually have it tattooed
show
here.
Your arm, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but there you go. but it's this triangular, which represents mind, body, spirit. It's a very spiritualism number and everything that resembles it. So it was weird because I wasn't going to wear this shirt today, but I'm big into extraterrestrials, UFOs, space, time, paranormal, ghosts, all that stuff. I've been researching it for as long as I could be born into this world. So it's just a weird thing. And I saw this shirt, and today for some reason I felt compelled to wear it. I don't know if it is a coincidence or if it's just maybe it's a sign for your experiences that you're have happening to you. So it's just weird. What if you, yeah, I know, right? I don't believe in coincidences.
I don't believe in coincidences either, and I gotta tell you, I'm kind of shook right now.
What has happened today? Why have you investigated Malvern Manor yet, or are you just getting started?
No, I just walked in. I've purposely tried not to pay attention. Mm-hmm. I didn't do any research. I did a quick interview out front where they told me I was accurate.
So I actually reviewed the tape on that too, and like without even walking into the building, she was already picking up on pretty significant things. It was pretty impressive, really, like without even knowing it. So.
Yeah. And it's just, is it like a fascination you've always had? I want to hear about where you started with the paranormal and why you got involved in it, because it fascinates me with people's stories.
So, my whole life, everybody has the gift. And everybody has intuition and this and that. Mine's a little bit stronger than most people. And it's all the normal stuff that you hear about. You think of somebody, they call you. You know what song's going to play next on the radio. In my life, being in the adult entertainment business for so long, there were people that I just didn't go in the VIP room with.
Sure. Like
this guy's like, oh, I want to get a dance from you. And I'm like, no, I'll give you $5,000, which is ridiculous. No, just something told me to say no. Wow. Then a couple hours later, this is a guy who assaulted another dancer. That kind of thing, like just really strong intuition. And that's been that way my whole life.
Man.
And then I would say, and in conjunction with that, there would be one or two huge paranormal instances that would happen once or twice a year that were completely fucking undeniable. One of which was 11 years ago, which I showed you the video of.
Mm-hmm. Pretty incredible.
Right, and so it was this ceiling that was, I don't even know how to describe it, but I filmed it 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was just an example of like something that would happen once or twice a year that was like, what in the actual fuck just happened?
Yeah.
But once or twice a year. Then about a year and a half ago, maybe a little longer now, March of 2019, me and the guy that I was with at the time moved in together. We moved into a house in the Garden District in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
And all hell broke loose. We moved in. We were very much in love. Spent $20,000 to redecorate this old house. Mm-hmm. It was great. 5 weeks later, he was gone.
Shit.
Wow.
This house was extremely haunted. You name it, it happened there.
I mean, you're in New Orleans, though.
And I'm from there. I'm from there. No, I'm from there.
Yeah.
But the weird thing about this house was I did a list. Mm-hmm. 22 people stepped foot in this house, and 21 of them had significant paranormal experiences.
Whoa.
The only one that didn't was my daughter.
Interesting.
I thought that was...
How old was your daughter at that time?
She turned 8. She was 8 and turned 9 living there.
Wow.
She's here right now, actually. She's on the bus.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. She was the only one that wasn't affected.
Yeah.
And you name it, and it happened in this house. Knocking, voices, electrical problems, blood running down the wall.
Jesus.
Yeah, I have pictures. So I put cameras in. We got all kinds of weird stuff. But the strange thing is, I never felt unsafe there.
Okay.
This house hated the guy that I was with. And anyway, not to give away all the details, but it went south really fast.
Sure.
And I stayed there, and he turned on me. Mm-hmm. Like, I saw it happen. He said he was held underwater in the bathtub. He came running upstairs, unprovoked, screamed at me, choked me so hard that he broke my collarbone, fractured it. And, I mean, you're going to think I'm crazy.
No.
He looked at me, and there was no color or white in his eyes. And so I reached out to a bunch of paranormal investigators because I was convinced that the guy I was in love with was possessed by a demon.
Sure.
And nobody got back to me, including one very famous paranormal investigator who's an expert in that. Probably thought I was crazy, never responded. So then ICE continued to live in the house.
Yeah.
And everybody that came over had strange things happen. Not aggressive, just things happen.
So did Was like this stuff happening to you, or was this stuff like protecting you and your daughter?
I think it was protecting us.
Yeah.
And the stuff, other people just, if you hear knocking, you're not getting attacked. He was the only one that was like attacked or touched. You know, nothing ever attacked or touched me. As a matter of fact, I developed almost a weird obsession for this house.
Interesting.
And I still have it.
Yeah.
Not the house, but this fascination.
Wow.
Like, she has a name. I don't want to give it away because it's the street, and I don't want people to know where it's
Sure.
at.
Yeah.
But like, I would pull up in an Uber and look at her and talk to. It was so weird.
It's amazing.
But my ex said I was crazy, and I was making it up to get him back, and that I was nuts, and I was whatever, and it pissed me off.
Yeah.
So some people and I that had experienced things in the house decided, since nobody would help me, I reached out to all these paranormal people, no one would help me, that we would just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And we went to the first location that we did as Spooky Babes was a place called the Sally House. And shit went sideways very quickly.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Very quick. And there was 4 of us, me and Justin, and 2 other friends. And the other 2 friends and I had been friends for over 10 years. They haven't spoken to me since.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Wow.
And then so Justin and I continued with Spooky Babes. And the second place we ever went was a house in Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
And I met somebody there who, the second we met, like, my abilities went off the charts. And that house lit the fuck up.
That's amazing.
And that was March, the beginning of March of 2020. And ever since then, I can just do things.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. Like, I really believe that the life journey takes us into interesting, places, but it's also like the experiences we go through. What do you think with these situations that you were in? Do you think it was like the intent of the energy controlling other people that were already kind of slip into that, like, that dark mentality, and it changed them to act out, like physically act out, and like almost in a channeling way or in a possession way or something like that? Do you feel like they acted out and attacked you because of those things, like the energies?
So that's only happened with my ex.
You're right.
The one guy, and he, I think he was predisposed to that.
Yeah.
And I already was like this. It was basically like that house was like throwing gasoline on a bonfire.
Yeah.
And he drank and partied a lot, and it just, like, I mean, we went downhill really quick in that house.
Sure.
And you figure the spirit that may have lived in that house 100 years ago would see that behavior as not a good person to get them out, just solely on the drinking a lot. There's so many variables.
So the house has remained vacant since I moved out. I did some research on the house. It's sold 12 times in 7 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And so I don't want to give away where it's at because I'm going to admit to some illegal activity now. But a few weeks ago, I went back to the house, and me and Justin, who's on Spooky Babes, and John, my key still worked. So we went into the house.
Fuck yes.
And no one had been there since me. As a matter of fact, when I was moving out, I drank a cup of water. It was a particular Mardi Gras cup. And I left it in the sink, and it was still sitting there. So no one had been in the house since December 19th when I moved out. And this was only a few weeks ago. And Justin had been in the house many times. Mm-hmm. He lives in New Orleans. He's one of my friends. He's on the show. He's actually in the Spooky Babes logo.
Yeah.
He'd been there multiple times. The last night I stayed in that house, he had an experience. We were moving me out. He was like, he's like, can we go get some food? I said yes. He goes, I'm going to take a leak. I was like, I'm going to change because I was sweaty from moving.
Yeah.
I went upstairs to my bedroom. He went into the downstairs bathroom, which he'd been in 50 times before.
Yeah.
That bathroom, the doorknob didn't have a lock. It was like one of those old crystal doorknobs. The house is 200 years old. But you had to push the door shut and push this latch. Really put some weight into it.
Sure, yeah.
Which he did. And he said he was using the restroom, and it was like, thwack. The latch opened.
Oh, shit.
Which takes some work. And he turned and looked, and the doorknob turned, and it opened. And I heard him scream.
Did he piss on your floor?
He did.
Yep.
and he came running upstairs to my bedroom without knocking, and I was standing there naked. And that's not something he would do.
Right.
And he was shook. He was like, what the fuck, Stormy? He told me what happened.
Wow.
And he basically was like, get your shit, you're never staying here again.
Yeah.
And I lived on his couch for a month. Because he was so freaked out, and he was such a good friend. He was like, nope.
Yep, absolutely not.
Because it was amping up. But anyway, to go back to...
What is it that you love so much about it? What is it that you love about the paranormal? What drives you to now, like, do spooky babes and go out to these places?
Okay, but to finish, so we went back a couple weeks. Yeah, we went back, and Justin had been there a bunch of times. I literally walked through the gate of the house and was like, this is my home. And I was like, hey, girl, nice to see you again.
Wow.
It was weird, and we went inside.
But you felt comfortable. Like, you just felt like coming home again.
Yeah, but you walked in, and I was like, it was strange. So we went up to my room, what was my bedroom.
Yeah.
And Justin sat on the floor, and he was fine. The house knows him.
You need...
John is pretty mild. Like, he's a sweet guy.
Sure.
He's hard to shake. He's been in the paranormal field for a very long time.
Right.
He was not okay.
No shit.
No. He got aggressive, and I was looking at him, and I was like, stop it.
Yeah.
He was provoking. He was aggressive. He was having, like anxiety. He saw a shadow come up the stairs. He was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. He's like, we got to go now.
That's interesting.
He was not okay. The house turned on him, too.
But that's interesting, then, that two different guys or whatever.
And I said, he goes, I have so much anxiety. And I was like, I got to tell you right now, you're sitting in the exact spot that my ex pushed me down.
Wow.
And he's like, yeah, I don't know if it's your residual energy or like whatever, but we happen to be in that space.
Yeah.
It was very, very strange. But to answer your question, I started this to prove my ex wrong.
I'm proving a point.
Yes.
Well, he said I was crazy, and I wasn't.
Fair enough, that's all we need. No, I mean, it is a real thing. Like, that's why I was asking about the energy, because I always feel that energy when you're at a weak mentality, and it sounds like they were kind of like drinking a lot, partying a lot, and their mindset was kind of weak in that sense, and then suddenly, something took them over when they were vulnerable. I believe that things happen when people are vulnerable, too. Energies can overtake negative and positive.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty interesting, though. You're gonna have to go buy the house again. I'm sorry. Like, you're going to have to. I think. I think you need to go back and purchase the place.
I go there a lot. And as a matter of fact, so whatever was in that house had started to spread, because my neighbors started having issues. And there was a guy across the street that we became friends because our kids would play together.
Oh, sure.
And he texts me every now and then. He'll be like, your house is crying. There's noises coming from
Malvern Manors, what's happening?
Can you guys not hear us?
Oh, that's so strange. Like, you and I are here, but they're suddenly...
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're like in a weird portal.
We can fucking hear everything that
went
you
into
say.
some weird dimension, and there's
We can
still
hear
at Malvern
everything
Manor.
that you're saying. Can you hear us?
This is what I do to electronics.
No shit.
I don't know.
Chad's gone.
Now Chad's gone. What?
You and I got booted.
No, boys.
Yeah.
Fuck. This is so weird.
She was
Mitch,
right, she
they're
took
gone.
over.
Damn it, Mitch.
This is the thing.
All right, we're
Watch
back.
this.
Jesus.
This is so
Christ.
strange. Dude, it's like Chad and I just went into some weird dimension, and we
So
were stuck there in
everything-
Stranger Things, like in the upside down world, and you were still existing doing your conversation, but
Yeah,
Chad and I were like, gone.
But everything that you were saying, we could hear.
Really?
Yes.
You
everything.
guys vanished.
No,
Just
we were
vanished.
right here the
No,
whole
I'm
time.
serious. You vanished.
It's me.
That's Malvern Manor. Malvern Manor is happening right now.
So, I mean, not to say anything or whatever, but Stormy did call this before we even started. She
Really?
said, electronics don't fucking like me. Like, I can't even approach a DVR system without it going on the fritz. And now we're experiencing all this weird shit over here.
Yeah, so I have a 3-car garage at my house in Texas. And it's a 3-car garage, and the breaker box is on that side. I have to park all the way on the left, because if I pull into the garage in the middle or the right, I blow my whole house.
Jesus Christ. So the middle it is. I'm gonna go. That's what it is.
Middle.
So the middle it is. That's fucking crazy, though. That's crazy. I love it.
I mean, what I was trying to say is energies, right? It's the intent you put out there, the intent you get back, positive, positive, negative, negative. So
Yeah.
it's weird. It's kind of interesting hearing your story about the experiences, but it doesn't surprise me with how people transform and change when they're vulnerable, because I think that they allow that negative energy to overtake them and lash out in a physical body.
Yeah.
What has been like one of your scariest, besides those stories that you just shared with us, what has been some of the exciting locations you've been to so far? Like, what are some that stuck with you?
So I think, let me think here. The scariest thing that's ever happened to me wasn't the scariest thing that I've ever gone through doing this. Wasn't something that actually happened to me. We were at, and this will be on the show because we were filming.
Yeah.
We were at the distillery in Savannah, Georgia. Yeah, and Justin and I were inside because we usually partner. He's not here right now, and I'm very sad about it. His band had a show, so Justin and I were inside. The other team was outside smoking or whatever, and Anya, who's here tonight, she was just sitting there. She was totally fine. Justin and I were inside. Justin got a little lippy. He started to provoke, and at the same time outside, unbeknownst to us, Anya fell out.
Oh.
And so we were doing the wrap up. We were done. He and I are talking to the owner. Thank you for having us. Blah, blah, blah. This is what happened. And my assistant, who was the voice you heard in that ceiling video, comes running in. He was like, Stormy, come quick. It's Anya. And we looked, and ambulances were pulling up.
Damn.
And she went into anaphylactic shock.
Jesus.
But she hadn't eaten, drinking, nothing. And they couldn't find any bites. So the scariest moment of my life was having to call Anya's parents from the hospital room at 3 a.m. and say, hi, you don't know me, but this is Stormy Daniels, and your daughter's dying.
No shit.
That was the scariest thing I've ever been through, even though nothing particular happened to me.
Oh my God.
So tell us about your new show and how many locations, episodes, everything you've been filming. Can you talk about that?
So I don't know where it's going to be. It's completely self-funded.
Awesome.
I've invested a lot of money. I didn't want to give up any control. I didn't want anybody to say that it had been manipulated or faked. We were trying to figure out how to make it different. The important thing is that like we were all friends and we're fun and cool to watch like when we're not filming.
Yeah.
We're in constant contact. We're on a group thread. We have the hashtag Not Your Normal Paranormal Show, which was actually coined by John Bullard. And we just really love each other and care about each other, but it's real.
Yeah.
And the idea of the show, like I said, was originally to prove that I was not crazy and that other people were going through this. So I had this platform where I can get more attention. And I've been accused of like doing it for attention or publicity. Actually, it's the opposite because I still have a Supreme Court case pending. I'm literally putting myself out there for people to be like, this bitch here's voices. She's crazy. This is detrimental to me. But it was so important that I decided I don't need more press. Like this could actually be really bad for me, but I was so compelled.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I really liked about it was when you watch most of the shows, the two things kind of stand out to me. Most of them, they don't even seem like they like each other.
Yeah.
The other thing is that
what's that?
Yeah,
Nick?
Mitch
What's
don't
that,
like
Nick?
us right now. That's,
Mitch is the one that hates us over here.
yeah, the alien. Mitch the alien.
the other thing is like if you do an investigation at like a place that's actually currently inhabited, you never really know except Dead Files.
Oh yeah.
She kind of does this, which I really respect, but you kind of really never know what happens to them afterwards. It's like, thank you for letting me exploit you, but I don't feel like it really helps anybody.
Yeah.
So Spooky Babes actually has two parts. We're the investigative team, which was me, Justin, and John, and then there's the aftercare part now, which is, they say it's when you come online. So if you have a spirit or an attachment or paranormal activity, you can clear that, but chances are you're going to have it again.
Sure.
So we wanted to tell people how to protect themselves, like how to make sure it doesn't happen again, how to get them help. Because even if we go into a location and we completely debunk everything, we're like, no, there's no ghost here. You have bad pipes or black mold or whatever. In their head, it's still real, especially if there's children involved. So at the very least, there should be some counseling.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just need to get out of this location, whether it's haunted or there's fucking black mold.
Yeah, exactly.
And moving is expensive. And if somebody is called a paranormal investigator, they've probably exhausted all their other resources.
Yeah.
So we're not going to leave anybody in that situation. We're going to pay for them to move or get counseling, and then offer alternative care.
That's amazing.
Because if you go to a doctor and you're like, I'm hearing voices, I'm having nightmares, they're just going to load you up with a bunch of pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
So I also have a CBD company called Tempest by Stormy. So we're going to do, and my friend is a yoga instructor. So we're going to do like meditation, how to set up crystal grids, how to protect yourself.
Wow. Yeah, I
How
love
to
it.
do
Yeah.
CBD counseling. We are starting a retreat in Utah that involves equine therapy, working with horses,
Yeah.
because they're
I was
the
gonna say
most
you're big into
highly
that.
vibrational animal.
Right.
They're very reactive.
I'm like, you've
So-
been big into horses forever.
Yes.
I mean, I read your book.
You read
I did.
my book?
I
You
do,
read?
I do read. I do read. I do. I want to. Yes.
I did the audio version.
There you go.
I did the audio book.
Anyway,
Great,
so
yeah.
there's 2 parts to Spooky Babes, and it's just to get people help. And
It's amazing. Yeah, I love that stuff.
yeah,
'Cause that's important though, especially
because
like you said.
nobody would fucking help me. They left me in this house, and when I went to a dark place. I remember there was I'm not proud to admit it, but like, I was okay, and then he broke my heart. He
Yeah.
attacked me. This was somebody I was madly in love with,
Yeah.
and then he said I was crazy and inventing it, and it's not true. And once he was gone, I was alone in this house. Like, I went to a dark place, and I legit tried to die.
How did the house react with you just there? Like after he was gone.
So there was a day where I was crying my eyes out, and it was really terrible. And all the light fixtures and light sockets had water running out of them.
Jesus.
And it was not raining outside. I have
So-
pictures. I'll show you when we get done.
So I mean, this is amazing though. I mean,
But
there's like
I was so in love with this person, and we moved in together. It was our dream city and our dream house. And
Sure.
5 weeks later, he's attacking me and gone.
Gone.
Like, he just left and he cut me off. I never spoke to him again.
Wow.
And then he, called me crazy and told my friends, oh, she's inventing ghost stories to try to get me back. And
Oh, so I mean, that's weird. So he's just trying to like talk smack about you and how you're hearing voices and all this.
yeah.
Stuff, trying
And
to,
so I know that I'm not the only person this happened to.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is that I, at this point,
Right.
because fame is fleeting, have a moment in time
Sure.
that people like you want to talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, we love having you here. This is fun shit anyway.
I can put thunder and lightning to good use.
Thunder and lightning.
Thunder and lightning. I'm not knowing. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I do. I remember that from
Little
the
bit of
book.
thunder,
I
little bit
know.
of lightning.
I remember that from the book now. Never mind. So thank you.
Josh.
I'm a little slow, guys. Fuck
Josh
off.
has read. Josh has read.
That's
Oh
fun.
my gosh. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the story of life, though, right? We have to go through these challenging times in order to open up another doorway and step up to something even greater. And here it is. It's kind of like your destiny was the paranormal in a weird way. Like, even though you had to go off and fund it yourself, I actually respect that tremendously, because I really didn't know how your project was going, where it was going, but I was like, whoa, wait a second. That's actually, I got a lot of respect for that. And the only reason I say that is because for over a decade, I've worked with corporations, I've worked with big networks, I've done that, I've created big shows, and it's like, for the first time, it felt so refreshing on this new series I have coming out that I independently produced myself, right? And it's challenging. It's challenging to get something like that off the ground, but you have to be passionate and you have to believe it. You just don't go off and it happens. So I can see the passion in you with the paranormal. I can totally understand where you're coming from. And like, look, we don't judge anyone. We don't give a shit. Like, we like to meet people and make judgment calls on just like this, face-to-face conversations, and really just diving deep into like cool experiences and topics. But I think, it's just a weird journey we all have to go through to evolve, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And every day whatever's happening to me is happening fast.
Yeah.
Like, every day. It just gets, I couldn't remote view until like 2 weeks ago.
I was going to say, like, you talk about the timeline of when you first kind of like flipped that switch until now. I mean, we're only talking months at this point. That's impressive.
It's crazy.
But I say
It's crazy. I found a dead body. I found a water leak in a friend's house that I've never been to because her dead mother showed up and started yelling at me. Sarah, who's actually here tonight, thought I was full of shit, and so she challenged me, and I mean, I knew things I shouldn't know.
Even you, this, like I said
Hang on a
before,
second.
you.
Barrett! Where's Joel? Answer your phone. Come here.
Get your ass in here. But no, even the things that you were picking up on before you even walked into the house, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive.
So
Very
Joel
impressive.
has been with me for over a decade.
Yeah.
Can I touch the electronics?
No.
He's like, nope.
We were having technical issues.
Yeah, she hasn't been allowed to touch electronics for years.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's
as
crazy.
soon as she touches them, that's it, they're gone.
That's what she was saying. That we experienced a couple hiccups, and yeah, it was pretty wild, man. I'm not lying. It was
So
crazy.
Joel was with me on our first outing as Spooky Babes.
Yeah.
And he's known me for a long time, and
Mhm.
I made Joel cry.
No shit. He's like, thanks for that. He's like, thanks for saying
What
that.
happened? Well, how'd you make him cry?
Joel, tell your story.
Yeah, come on down here.
Yeah.
Where did we go? Where were we?
We were in Raleigh, North Carolina.
We went to a private location and checked out this house, and we get there, and there's this guy ended up doing Stormy's hair for her.
He
And
was a
went
makeup
out,
artist.
went outside and had a cigarette, and Stormy came out just to see what we were doing. And he said, you guys are doing some paranormal investigating and stuff. He goes, my mom passed away, and so can you tell her I love her and I miss her?
Oh,
And then, man, it was like the spirit went into Stormy. It was really cool.
no shit.
Yeah, and I mean, knew the way she stood, the way she held a cigarette, the way she had her hairstyle, all the way down to her favorite color. What else was there?
Her nickname for him, how she died, and I was like, the number 6 keeps coming up, and the guy burst into tears and said that
Yeah.
his mother had died without speaking to him for 6 years since he came out
Wow.
to her.
And then you called him baby boy, and when he gave him a hug, said, "It's okay, baby boy," when he started crying.
that's
And
what
that
someone
was
told
the
him.
name that only his mom used.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's intense stuff right there, though.
And I didn't cry then. I cried when I had to tell the story
Yeah, I was like,
to
is
your
that the
camera.
moment?
And I'm not
Oh,
one
that's
known
good,
to
though.
cry very much either.
Oh,
Yeah,
Good one, cable
No,
guys.
Thanks.
That's cool. Thanks for
brother.
sharing, man. You know, going back
you,
where you
Storm.
said
I
that
love
this
you too,
just
Joel.
started happening recently. You said this kind of more recent. You're honing in your skills, your abilities to kind of go into these psychic impressions and stuff and foresee things and the intuition. But do you think that you had that way before? You were talking about you've had this for a long time, like as a kid and stuff. Or
So-
is this recent?
I just kind of had good instincts. I chalked it up to that, and the fact that I lived in a very haunted city. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the stuff with the electronics, because I've directed. I mean, obviously, I was a porn director for a very long time. And Joel worked for me on almost everything I've ever directed, music videos and adult movies. And the running joke is Stormy's not allowed to touch the electronics. Like, we'd be shooting something, and he'd be like, "Can you hold this camera?" Nope. Like,
Can't do it.
like I can't. But it was just kind of chalked up to bad luck, or I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah.
But you heard him. It's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
Stormy's not allowed to touch it. I mean, I broke his e-cigarette earlier.
Oh, shit.
It just shorted out of my hand.
She fried the e-cigarette. God damn it.
Yeah, so like I'm literally, I've been, in case you haven't noticed, I've been sitting on my hands the whole time.
Sure,
Yeah,
Except when
yeah,
I
yeah.
was, like,
Don't touch
so that I
Johnny
don't
because
touch
he's
things.
actually a robot. And we don't want him, we don't want him to malfunction over there.
But I think living in that house in New Orleans just was so extreme.
Yeah.
And then what happened with my ex drove me to want to know more, because at first, I mean, I'll admit, at first I wanted him back. And and then I was pissed off at being a petty bitch.
Yeah.
Because he called me a liar. And I'm sick of people. I mean, obviously, with all the political stuff, I'm fucking sick of being called a liar. It's
Yeah.
a trigger for me. And then we started investigating, and things went really strange. And the first place we went was the Sally house, where I ended up fucking trying to fight a demon in a basement, and it scratched me and turned a streak of my hair silver.
I'm telling you.
And
That place is no bullshit.
no, it's not. And that's my first place I went to.
God damn.
And then 10 days later, I went to the house in Mississippi where I met John, and I was able to control all the lights in the house, which I've never been able to do before. And we got this crazy EVP, which I'll play for you when we're off the air. And
Sure.
it's just nuts.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, look, Sally House is what triggered it for me, too, way back in the day to start Ghost Adventures. So Sally House, when I saw the documentary of the news team back in 2004, on October, they were filming that guy, way back then, being scratched on camera. And that actually triggered me to say I need to go out and look for ghosts.
I got
That's how I
scratched
create
there.
Ghost Ventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The place
I mean,
is a lot.
And then and the whole thing with Susan, that's a whole.
I
mean,
is that your doll you
No.
bring around? What?
Is
What?
it
It,
the value bringer on?
we
yeah.
started.
So she was.
Chad, it's happening again.
Happening again. Is it
No,
No, I
it's
think-
Stormy. Stormy's you're interfering the electronics again.
She's sitting on her hands. I'm looking.
She started talking
I
about
know,
the
but
doll.
she moved closer though, and everything started getting haywire.
Sorry.
This is the rope.
You got closer. I know that's the
John,
real.
just
You
take
can't
off
cross
the
the boundaries to the mic. It messes everything up. All right, tell us about the
So
doll.
the story
then.
behind Susan. So the story behind Susan is she's from 1955. The story is that she belonged to a little girl who died of stomach cancer. My personal opinion from being around her is that this girl was sick for a very long time,
Oh.
and this was her doll. And I believe if she had been buried with this doll, it would be over and done with.
Sure.
But she was suffered and was alone and sad, and so when she passed, she didn't want to leave her doll. So this is my feeling. So she attached.
Yeah.
What I do know to be fact is that once the little girl, who I don't know her name, passed away, this doll started creeping out the family. They said she'd moved, she had whatever. They called in Ed and Lorraine Warren, who did a cleansing of the house and took the doll.
Yeah.
From there, the doll lived in their museum for a long time.
Sure.
And then she was passed to John Zaffis, who 9 years ago auctioned her for charity. And John saw her online and had to have her and bought her for a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he's had her for 9 years. She spent the last 4 years living in a glass case in the house that his documentary is about. And people always reacted very strongly to her, including me. And my partner, Justin.
Yeah.
But she would freak people out. But they never captured her moving or talking. She just had a presence. The very first night that I was there, the very first night I met them, he got his first EVP of her, which I will play for you if you want to hear
Oh,
it.
hell yeah.
So she spoke for the first time in my presence, and now she speaks and moves and cries and does all kinds of things.
Wow.
And she told the medium that she wants to be with me, and so now she's mine.
That's amazing.
Now you bring her to every
Sitting here
location.
staring at the doll.
Yeah, like,
I get like just a very comfortable vibe with the doll.
well, she's got a beer. She's chilled.
Yeah.
She's ready to roll.
But here, I'll play you the
Yeah,
EVP.
Like
I'd love to hear
Johnny, pick me up.
But now
Rock
we
me,
have
Johnny.
lots
That's
of
what she's
videos of
saying.
her. We have lots of video of her moving.
That's amazing.
What's that?
I have a very clear thing of her crying, which I'll play for you off
That your doll, your friend there,
But
Johnny,
I'll-
is saying, "Pick me up, rock me, Johnny, hold me." That's what your doll's saying. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
and I've had her read many times because, like, a lot of people think that any haunted object is evil or bad. She's not. She's not. She's a little girl who misses her mom.
Right. Right.
So, Stormy, you
amazing.
brought up, you touched on something really quick, which I thought was interesting. I guess might as well talk about it. You're talking about how you're sick of all the political bullshit and stuff. Let's talk about that for a second. Since that, you know, like, I know you brought it up really quick and whatever, and we can breeze over it. I mean, honestly, I'm sick of all the political shit, to be honest with you, and I'm just kind of like over it. But I don't know. You wanna touch on that really quick?
Political stuff? Why? Who cares? That's
Good,
even
and we're
weirder
done.
than
And we're done. That's all I need to know. I know Chad was gonna get into this, so I just kind of slid us in there.
Okay, here we go. Do you want to hear this?
add to that, if I may?
Do you want to hear it?
I do.
So,
I'll play it
you
for
guys
you.
hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Play
we
it
can
or
hear
not?
you, bro.
So I'm.
It's
I'm
really
into-
creepy.
Into dreams.
They can't hear me,
and
can they?
sometimes, you have very visceral dreams
I
that
can
sort
hear
of like stick
Okay.
out, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we hear you.
It's just like distorted.
You can?
Yes.
Okay. So I, like 2 years ago, no, 3 years ago, and I got up and I tweeted about it, but I had a dream that involved you. And I don't know, you were at this award show, Stormy, and you were like on the side of a stage. And I walked up to you and I extended my hand and I said, "Excuse me, Miss Daniels, I just want to thank you." And I shook your hand and you reached over and shook my hand. And that was the extent of the dream. And I really, I tweeted about it. I said I had a dream that involved you and I said thank you. And I never thought I would get a chance to meet you, and here we are, like, it kind of happened. So, like,
my
being badass. So, it's cool that we get to like come and have a conversation with you, and that kind of like came to fruition in a way. So, thank you.
Thank you. Everything. I mean, this whole trip has been really fucking weird. But yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I just did what I thought was right.
Absolutely.
Want to hear
So,
a creepy
I
Yes.
Before your friend makes me cry?
Can you talk about it though? Because I think a
about
lot
what?
of people that are listening, can you talk about like the truth behind, like, let's hear from your perspective what happened with all the BS and all that
I
shit.
wrote a whole
And
book. I mean, like what part? I mean, there's so much.
just you can breeze over it. I mean, sum it up, basically what happened, and then what you stood up
I mean,
for
people
and
think
why.
that I made it up, which is not true. People think that I was paid for sex. That's not true.
Right.
I was at a golf tournament. Donald Trump came up and invited me to dinner. He said he wanted me to be on The Apprentice. I actually talked to my publicist and said I didn't want to go. I wanted to go out with some girlfriends that night who were going to a club, and he was like, "Are you stupid? This could be fun." I was not a prostitute. I was not an escort. It was not discussed. I literally was naive and went to his room because he said we were going to go meet there and then go downstairs to dinner. Got there, he wasn't dressed. Had a conversation. Didn't feel threatened. Was not coerced. Had a pretty interesting conversation, actually. It was pretty entertaining. We talked about how he was going to put me on Celebrity Apprentice. There was no drugs or alcohol involved. After a few hours, I was really fucking hungry. That motherfucker still owes me dinner. For the record, I am very food motivated.
Fucking awesome.
And I was promised dinner.
Oh, that's
I was
amazing.
fucking starving.
Cocksucker.
I went to the bathroom. I came out and he was naked on the bed. Or
Oh,
well, in his
Jesus.
underwear. And
He did the naked man. He did the naked man.
And I was like, fuck, what have I done? He basically cornered me. It said, if you really want this, you'll prove it.
Yep.
Used everything against me. Like, you're just going to end up in the trailer back home in Louisiana. Like, blah, blah, blah. Proved to me you want to be a director. Because the idea was that I was going to go on Celebrity Apprentice. And he was going to throw it. He was going to tell me the challenges.
Yep.
So that people could see that I was smart and funny and whatever and let me direct. Because I wanted to be a mainstream director of horror movies and music videos.
Yeah.
So he was like, this is a way for you to show people that you're not just big tits and blonde hair. I mean, he was right. And I actually do believe he was being honest because it would have been so scandalous, he would have eaten it up too.
Sure.
I really do believe that he was being sincere. Even now. At that moment. That was it. I was traumatized. I was ashamed. I never told it, I didn't tell anybody the dialogue that happened. It was not a secret. Literally, he would call me once a week and I put him on speakerphone in front of everybody.
I remember that in the book too. It was funny.
What's wrong?
It's got a great story.
What's that?
They want to play tonight.
Oh, really?
Oh fuck! Already?
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask Barrett. Barrett knew me back then. Like, the Trump thing was not a secret, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
he's known me since I was 17.
I was
So
gonna say, I remember in your book you said like literally he would call, you would put it on speakerphone, and you're
Yeah.
like, hey guys,
I was
listen to
probably
this
on
shit.
set with him.
Yeah.
But Joel was with me at the time.
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
knows.
amazing.
It was not a secret.
It's amazing.
I was not paid for sex. It kind of went away. The story came out the first time in 2011, well before he ever was going to run for office.
Boys.
Look at
Boys.
that.
Isn't that fucked up?
What
And,
happened? Yeah,
they-
what's happened?
they-
Sorry. What? Oh my gosh. Really?
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
I was like, what happened? Did something fly off the wall? Is Melvin Manor talking?
No.
And then that happened.
No,
Oh,
they
man.
said they were
Yeah,
having.
but
They were saying they were having experiences
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, get serious.
Oh, weird. I want to hear about it in a second, but continue.
All right.
Continue.
Yeah.
And then, I was threatened in a
That's it.
parking lot
Yeah.
with my daughter, who's on the bus right now, when she was a baby. And the story went away for a long time. I had met my daughter's father, who's also on the bus.
No shit.
He's here. But I did not meet him until 3 years after I slept with Trump.
Right.
So I never told him. Do you tell everybody you date who you slept
no,
with before?
Of course not.
It honestly wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing.
It's not
And,
on your radar. Right?
No, and would
Exactly.
you want to tell somebody that?
Fuck no.
No.
Absolutely
But
not.
it wasn't a thing. And so when he was running for office, I kept telling everybody he doesn't want to do it. Like, I know he doesn't. He told me he didn't. It's a publicity thing. But
It's
then
a branding.
when,
It's a branding opportunity, right?
But then when it got people who knew from 10 years
Yeah.
before started talking. I still don't know who actually betrayed me and leaked it, but it could be to hundreds of people. Like,
Sure.
it wasn't a fucking secret.
Sure.
And then they came to me and wanted to make it go away. They offered me money and an NDA.
Mm-hmm.
I took it so that my husband wouldn't find out. It was quiet for a long time because I still didn't think that he was serious.
Yeah.
Because he told me he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And who would vote for him?
No.
Like, how did this fucking happen?
Literally every
And-
day asking myself
And
the same
people
question.
people think that I could have stopped it, but I couldn't because I actually served him on a silver platter
Mm-hmm.
because if I had come forward in advance, oh, what, just another pretty girl that he had sex with? Nobody would have cared. I would have made him a bigger hero. It was the fact that he did something illegal.
Yeah.
And they still let him off. But,
Yeah.
so, that came out. People said I tried to, that I ratted him out. If you read the NDA, it specifically says that neither he nor I can contact each other in any fashion, family, whatever. And they contacted me and wanted me. So I was fine with saying nothing, but I'm not a fucking liar.
Yep.
They wanted me to write a false statement. Twice Cohen hit me up and asked me to write a statement. They were written by him.
Shit.
I said no twice. Then Michael Cohen went and pitched a book, which I guess now has actually come out, where he specifically says that he was willing to talk about Stormy Daniels and her $130,000 payment. So what the actual fuck? Now I couldn't even defend myself.
Exactly.
So after they violated the NDA 5 times, I said, fuck it, and came forward, and I was offered hundreds of thousands of dollars to tell the story, and I chose to go on 60 Minutes for free.
Hell yeah.
So that no one could say that I was doing it for the wrong reasons.
Hell yes.
Yes. You have so much courage. I'm Team Stormy all the way. So just bravo for standing
Fuck
up.
yeah.
Just awesome.
And then he went on Twitter and called me names, so
Fuck that.
I
He calls
decide-
everybody this. I did want to point this out. I think it was
Twitter's my
was it-
favorite sport.
Fuck yes, because last week was it you tweeted at
Melania.
Melania Trump.
Fuck her.
No, that was the fucking best. Like, you won the internet that day, okay? You won the fucking internet that day. It was the best. Did you guys see
I feel
this
kind of
tweet?
sorry for her. She's so squinty because she's been trying to find his penis for years, but like whatever.
I
You didn't
missed it.
see it? Oh, you gotta see it. You gotta go back into the Twitterverse, and holy shit, this was amazing, boys. Really puts Melania right in her place. Like, it was the best.
Well, have you seen my jacket?
No.
I have one. It's the exact jacket she has. It says, "I really do care."
Oh. That's outstanding. Like
So-
the green one or whatever it is, yeah. Oh, that's
Really
great.
quick, what is
It's a gift
happening
from
over
Kathy
there?
Griffin.
Who is having experiences right now? You said somebody was having
My
experiences.
camera
The
crew.
crew.
They're
The
just
crew.
wiring up the DVR system because I'm not allowed to touch it.
Yeah, I know. We don't want that to short
Stormy's
circuit.
gonna break shit.
What are they having happen, Johnny?
I
can you
don't know.
see them?
They haven't told me yet.
Oh,
They haven't
okay.
told us.
All right, because I thought things were. I don't know. I thought something fell off the wall or something. And then
No.
you showed us
No,
that.
I don't know. They were in the basement, I think.
Now, Stormy has an EVP that she was gonna play for us real quick.
Oh.
I want
Let's
to
hear
hear
it.
this, like, real.
All right, so in this EVP, you will hear Justin, who's not here. He's my, we've established who Justin is. He's holding Susan, which was very strange because she was kept in a case. He normally didn't let people handle her. And he was so fixated on her. He was like, do you want to hold, like, Justin was like, yeah, I really want to hold her. And normally she doesn't like men, but Justin's the oldest of five siblings, and his youngest sister was, like, premature, and he kind of, like, took care of her.
Sure.
But for so Justin's 23,
Yeah.
emo, rock star, like, if you look at pictures of Spooky Babes, you definitely know which one Justin
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
You know, lead singer, like,
Yeah, I know Justin. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's super cool. For 3 hours, he carried this doll around. I have pictures of him rocking and burping her on the couch, and we were all like, so we ordered pizza that night during the investigation. So she's worth a lot of money,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so he asked him to put her down while we ate, whatever. Before he did, you'll hear on the EVP Justin saying, "Do you like it when I hold you? Do you like it when I hold you?" And then when we played back the audio, you hear her respond. And it's fucking creepy. And now I hear her talk all the time.
Yeah.
So now I know her voice. So here she is.
Put it right up to the mic there.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Did you like it whenever I held you, Susan? Do you want me to hold you again?
Wow.
Whoa. Play it again. Play it again.
That was fucking.
That is insane.
Ready? Shh.
Yeah, replay.
Did you like it whenever I held you, Susan? Do you want me to hold you again?
That is
That is a little kid's
that
voice.
is crystal
little
clear.
girl.
A little.
Wow, you can hear it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear her all the time.
Wow.
And that was the first night that I met John. So that's John's equipment. John captured that and sent it to me and
Wow.
was like, "You're never gonna fucking believe this."
That's impressive.
Fantastic.
Wow.
That's
I love
creepy. That reminded me of the Queen Mary in the
we have a
pool
bunch of
area.
her. That's the
that-
first one now.
I love
Remember
it.
that
It's
little
always the
girl
same
who
voice.
makes sound like "Wah," and she's crying and she's
Yeah.
reaching out? That sounds like the Queen Mary. It's just my own experience I had there. That's creepy.
Yeah, we were in a theater in Tampa a few weeks ago, and there was a guy that wanted to show off his spirit box that he made. I guess
Oh.
it's like a spirit, some homemade thing.
Sure.
And we're in a theater, and I brought her in, and he didn't know that we had her. I took her out of the backpack and I put her in a chair, and he was way across the room, and I whispered in her ear. I was like, "Can you say my name?" And through the spirit box across her, it said Stormy.
Oh shit.
It said Stormy, and then John was there, and I said, "Can you say John's name?" And it said, "Hi, Daddy."
Oh fuck. That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, Soren, what's next? You're going to be investigating the Malvern Manor, right? Are you spending the whole night there? What's the plan?
Oh, I'll be sleeping on my bus outside.
Yeah, no shit.
Okay.
Like you're certainly
But-
not gonna sleep here. Like in the place.
I will tell you, I slept there for 3 days, and it's definitely one of the most uncomfortable places. That metal mattress, I
Love you,
slept on
buddy.
that.
No,
Love
I'll
Yeah.
be in my bunk with with both of my daughters.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But you're going to be investigating, so tell us what the plan is. So you have a DVR system set up, you have your crew, you're
Yeah.
getting ready to go into the darkness there and just investigate?
I don't know what we're doing because I haven't walked through yet.
True. Like
So
that's just it,
they've
guys.
made a plan and they'll tell me and they'll follow me.
It's pretty sweet. Like I did the initial like walkthrough.
I have
or
no
whatever
idea anything.
with
I haven't
the
done a
camera
walkthrough
crew.
yet.
So I did
That's-
it with the camera crew, and she literally walked through the front door and into this room
On purpose.
and sat down. Like
On my
and now
hands.
here we
I'm still on
started.
my
Yeah,
hands.
exactly.
That's awesome.
on
So
her
you're going in
hands,
cold then, and then you're going to pick up on what you gather and what you're sensing. All right.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
that's pretty cool.
I
Yeah,
love it.
I dig that.
Not a lot of people do that. Seriously, it's impressive.
And
Yeah,
I showed them some clips on my phone
Mm-hmm.
of other, so that they know I'm not full of shit.
It's great though.
Yeah, it would
How
be.
many locations do you have set up? How many locations do you want to go to?
On this run, we did Farrar Schoolhouse last night.
Oh yeah, great place.
Nice.
last
That's
night-
a weird one,
That's-
Chad. That's a weird one.
Tonight
Awesome.
is here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is
Yeah.
Basilica, Axe Murder House. We're
Yep,
doing
yep.
Beatty Mansion. We're going back to the villa because I had a fucking insane experience there last time.
Hell yeah.
We are doing Haunted Castle Inn,
Oh, where's that?
Bromley. It's supposed to be like a portal. I don't know.
Whoa.
And then we have a live a public event at Ashmore.
Very nice. I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting one. There's another one, Beatty Mansion. I'm forgetting one, but I
That's
have to
good
look at the
stuff.
schedule. And then I'm off for a couple days. Well, I'm not off, but I'm not doing paranormal stuff. I'm actually dancing at the new Hustler Club in Nashville
Oh, fuck
on. So okay, I have a comedy club appearance at Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis on the 20th.
Yeah.
There's still tickets available if you want to hear me talk shit on stage about
Love
Trump,
that.
and
Love
we
that.
do a live Q&A, which is a lot of fun.
Boys, we
Um,
need to get some G Crew tickets.
That's in St. Louis, so
I love it.
definitely come. It's a lot of fun. Autographs, pictures afterwards, whatever. The best
Hell
part
yes.
about that is I do stand up,
Yes.
but when you come in, you get a card and you write whatever question you want, and I answer it on the fly.
Fuck.
It's my favorite thing ever because there's always some asshole that I
Oh.
make cry.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's amazing. It's
I
my
would-
favorite thing ever.
Which one of us
I love-
G's
I
would
love
be that
improv
asshole
like that.
though? Like,
And then, so that's on the 20th, and then the 21st and 22nd, I'm actually dancing at the new Hustler Club in Nashville.
Hell
The
yeah.
same night as the debate.
Oh.
And then I'm off for a couple days, and then on the 28th, I have a stand up at Good Nights in Raleigh, North Carolina.
God, you're all over the place.
And
You
then
are
on the
everywhere.
30th, I think there's only like a fucking few tickets left. You can come investigate with me the night of October 30th at the Bonnie and Clyde Museum, and it's me and now just David, because
Yeah.
damn it. Yeah, and so we're actually doing the museum and the kill site, which technically means we cross over at midnight, and it's a full moon.
Oh Jesus
Shit, what
Christ,
the
that
fuck?
scared the
Why
fuck
is
out
this
of
doing
me.
this? Sorry.
That scared me.
Yeah, me too. And so it'll be Halloween night, full moon. You can come investigate with me
Okay.
and David Childers, who's amazing.
Hell yeah.
And And then we have more stuff after that. You can go to my website, though, and check out tickets for the rest of it.
love it.
SpookyBabesShow.com. You can read all about Susan. She has her own Instagram, SpookyBabesSusan.
That's so bad. That's so
Amazing. You are keeping busy. I mean,
For
thank
real.
you so much for talking with us, sharing your stories, your experiences. I'm really curious. You have to share with us, once you've did a walkthrough right there at Malvern Manor, please let us know. Josh, get the information, because I'd be really curious to see what she picks up on.
Oh, yeah.
Just based on, all the tons of hours that we put in investigating it.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be really interested in finding out, if you discover anything new, or if you
love
can
it.
kind of get more insight on what exactly is haunting that location. I have a theory, but I'm curious to see what happens with you. So we wish you all the best of luck. You're a G now, so anytime you want to
officially
join
a
the
G.
G crew, hang out, whatever, this has been a blast. And,
Thank you.
Hell yes.
I feel like we've
loved
been
it.
talking forever.
yeah.
What time is it?
I mean, it's been an hour.
That's
I have
what
to
happens
pee,
when you're
so-
chilling.
You better go jizz.
It has to.
No, I have some
So-
interesting theories as well. I'm supposed to go actually down to Key West and hang out with. Do you know Aaron Sagers?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
supposed to go down to Key West at the end of the month and hang out with him. He wants to experiment on me. I did a movie that started like that, so.
That's funny.
Oh, that's great. No, seriously, Stormy, thank you very much for your time and hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank
crazy
you.
bastards for tonight, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, so if you really want to piss off Trump, buy tickets to anything I'm at because he wants me to be a failure. I don't even care if you come, just buy a ticket so I can say it was sold
I
out.
love it. I love it.
But I am actually kind of funny, so my stand-up shows are fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that I love improv stand-up like that. Best of luck with you on everything you're doing, and congrats on all your success. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, take care. G Crew, out.